I was wondering why the calendar was so thick today, but okay.
Sorry, Judge. All right, so yeah, it's positions 3 through. Sorry, it's 7 through 12. Is that
7 to 12. Yes, that's the one.
okay?
And your client is DeMonte Coleman, who is at the jail court iPhone. All right, Mr. Coleman, my name is Judge Lal. You please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, like the open virtual court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is Miss Rachel Abdon. Miss Abdon is on the screen titled Courtroom 2. Do you see her?
Yes.
Okay. And Miss Abdon, how are we proceeding with this matter?
Not guilty, Your Honor, and we'd like to be heard on bond.
Okay. And do you waive a reading of the accusation, Miss Abdon?
Yes.
Okay. And are you planning to file a waiver of arraignment, or would you like me to arraign the case?
I can file a waiver, Your Honor.
You can file waiver? Okay. So Ms. Strong will expect a waiver arraignment for all 5 cases from positions 7 through
12.
9 to 11. Three, 4, 5, 6 cases. All right. Okay, so we are addressing Mr. Devontae Coleman. Mr. Coleman, you have 6 cases pending against you, beginning with 21 CR 5421J, criminal trespass, 23 FTA 1145, a bench warrant, 23 FTA 1146, a bench warrant, 23 FTA 1147, a bench warrant, 22 CR 1133J, criminal trespass from February 19, 2022, and 22 CR 1134J, criminal trespass from February 23rd, 2022. Did you hear all that, Mr. Coleman?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your attorney, Ms. Abdon, has entered a not guilty plea on your behalf to all these 6 matters, so we will address bond. You may proceed, Ms. Abdon.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm requesting a signature bond through the jail and that he be released to the holds he has. It's my understanding there are 4. There is one for Cherokee County, Gwinnett, Roswell, and Snellville. And he also has a felony case that is holding him right now. And after speaking with his attorney, my client advised me that they'll be heard on bond in January. And so he wanted to be able to deal with the holds and deal with this case and be released on a signature bond.
So he's asking for a signature bond in order to be released to the other outstanding open cases that he has, notwithstanding the fact that he did not appear in court on November 16th, 2023, and on July 3rd, 2023. Do I have a reason why he didn't appear in those times?
It's my understanding that he lives here. He was also staying in Chicago. He did not have adequate notice, although it was sent. It's his duty to update the court with his address. And he does apologize for that, Your Honor. So he's just asking for you to consider he be released to those holds. Like I said, there are 4 of them, and he will still be held on that felony case, Your Honor. So if he would be released to those holds if the felony case gets resolved and he gets released on that.
All right. Let me see what his
Yeah,
Ms. Falk, yes, before I hear from Mr. Coleman. Ms. Falk, do you have any comment?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. As for these three cases, all of them, I believe, yes, involve Miss Christina Caldwell. So the simple battery offense is one that involved Miss Caldwell back in, let's see, October of 2021. Actually, my apologies, I'm looking at the criminal trespass. So let's go through this. So we have the offense date of February 19th of 2022 involving a criminal trespass with Miss Caldwell. A offense of February 23rd, 2022 involving Miss Caldwell. And then the third offense of criminal trespass involving Miss Caldwell. And in fact, when we spoke to Miss Caldwell, she said that they are not together, they co-parent. They have had multiple cases. She actually had to have her memory refreshed by her victim advocate from the prior reports. And she said that they are fine now. It's best that they are not together, but they are doing well and are cordial. I will say in all three of these cases, in the incident that happens February 23rd of 2022, she was on the bed with her boyfriend when the defendant came into the room, began to fight her boyfriend, and they both ended up, her and her boyfriend both ended up fleeing the house. On the incident that happened February, excuse me, do not know where I got that from. The incident that happened back in 2021, let me see, involved a criminal trespass, again, at Miss Caldwell's residence at the time. In that case, the defendant kicked in the front door and the door frame of the residence, trying to gain entry during a domestic dispute. He began kicking the door in, and they began arguing about the co-parenting of their child. And he also began snatching things and throwing them onto the floor. And the last case, let's see. On February 19th of 2022,
I say something?
Mr. Coleman,
Mr.
considering the charges that you have currently open against you, I I couldn't even stress to you how many times I'm going to say highly recommend that you exercise your right to remain silent and take a moment, if you have any questions, to save that for your attorney.
Mr.
You
Coleman,
say, yeah, go ahead, Ms. Abden.
sorry, I apologize, Your Honor. I'm not done yet. I will speak on your behalf. I'm just going to advise you to exercise your right to remain silent. This is being recorded. The solicitors are on here. I don't want you to say anything that would incriminate you.
I can't say nothing that's gonna incriminate me. I'm like, I know what's going on. You feel me? Like,
All right, Mr. Coleman,
okay, I got you.
thank you.
All right, please proceed, Ms. Falk. Sorry about
yes,
that.
Your Honor. And in that case, that also involved him kicking in the door of Miss Coleman's residence. That's in addition to the fact that the defendant has 8 cycles out of Chicago, Illinois. The most recent one was a null pros in 2020 for aggravated assault. Also some retail theft convictions, and let's see, there was a battery physical contact conviction from 2019 where he was sentenced. And going to his history in Georgia, we have, actually, before we get to his history in Georgia, he also appears to have some charges out of Connecticut. So he had a 2018 interference, resisting, and disorderly charge out of Connecticut. He had 3 cycles out of Connecticut in total. And then moving on to Georgia, we have, let's see, 21 cycles in total. Those range from drug offenses to
A capital offense,
hit
yes.
and run and a capital offense. I wasn't going to state the offense on the
Thank you.
record, but
Mhm.
needless to say, he has been quite busy, and in fact has missed 2 court dates involving the 3 criminal trespass cases, has 3 foreign holds outside of this county and the capital offenses. There is not, I don't think, a single compelling reason as far as the Ayala factors are concerned that he would actually meet at this point. And so for that reason, we are asking that the bond remain as set.
Ms.
Your Honor.
Abden, yes.
Thank you. So the bond for these 3 cases is currently set at 16,000. He cannot make that bond, Your Honor. He was working at FedEx, and he also does music. He does not have income at this time. He's been held in jail. He will continue to be held in jail on the felony case and will need to deal with these holds. He has a child, Your Honor. He has responsibilities. He's been in jail for some time now on these cases. He does maintain his innocence. I understand he does have a history and a history involving the complaining witness. It's my understanding that at the time they were breaking up, moving, living separately. And that is kind of what led to all of this. And it's my client's position that was all, these cases are a misunderstanding. And that is why he's entering this not guilty plea, Your Honor. So I am requesting, again, a signature bond through the jail that he be released only to those holds if Your Honor is inclined, and if not, a reduction in the bond so he can try to be able to make it, so he can, like I said, deal with those holds and move on with his life, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I do apologize.
No, that's all right, Ms. Falk. I'm prepared to rule.
Oh, no, I just wanted to sound for Ms. Caldwell, just in case she is
Oh,
present
Miss
today.
Catherine Christina
Yes, I'm here.
Caldwell? You're
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Are you dressed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What would you like to tell me? I really honestly don't really want to have you say anything unless you feel compelled to say something.
Yeah, I honestly feel like we have been dealing with these cases for quite some time now. I don't feel like Devontae is an endangerment to me or my child. Prior to those cases that we did have together, we haven't been, confrontational. We haven't been at it. We separated with.
When's the last time you saw him? When is the last time you saw him?
Right before he went to jail. We actually do great at co-parenting. He had
Again,
my
I'm going to
son.
ask you this question. When is the last time you saw him?
About December 8th.
Okay. So you're co-parenting, and so he's living in Atlanta?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he live with you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you do understand that he doesn't show up for court. He hasn't shown up for court at all this year.
Yes.
Okay. And you do understand right now that he's got a significant serious charge against him in Superior Court.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I need a very, very good reason why I should release someone like this back into the community.
Well, as his PD was saying, he does have a child that he takes great care of. He does go back and forth from Atlanta to Chicago, and after we had separated, he wasn't too stable in one place, so that's probably another reason why he didn't get his court updates. But it definitely wasn't just because he's not showing up.
Yeah, he's required to provide us with a new address so we can send him notice of his next court date. If he doesn't do that, then he's in jail.
And
Simple
Your
as
Honor,
that.
Your Honor, we'd be happy to provide the court with an updated address. And
Oh, I'm not worried about the address. I think I'd like the address he's listing it right now. In the 2021 criminal trespass, he was in custody for 2 days. In 2022, he was in custody for 3 days. And then he wasn't in the Fulton County Jail from March 2nd, 2022, until he got booked in on December 10th, 2023, because of these outstanding felony charges. I'm not certain where I'm getting this information that he's been in jail for a long time, because he's in jail, not because of the cases for state court, not because of the bench warrants, but because he got arrested on major felony charges. So I'm a little perturbed that you're asking me for a signature bond, given that Mr. Coleman does not meet any of the yellow factors. He is a threat to the community. He's a threat to individuals. He has a very high likelihood to reoffend, and he doesn't appear in court twice. He moves between Atlanta and Chicago, and he doesn't want to let us know where he is. So obviously, he's not going to get notices for a court date because he's moving around. He's not keeping up with his court appearances.
That's not true.
So I am
Coleman.
really not concerned about the fact that he's got a job or a child or something, because he is a threat to the community.
Listen, y'all got all
Mr.
this
Coleman?
confused. Y'all got all this
Mr.
confused.
Coleman, one moment. So,
My child mother wrote an affidavit. She wrote an
Mr. Coleman,
affidavit.
Mr. Coleman, I will relay that to the court.
They making it seem like I'm a bad person. This is, every charge y'all talking about is misdemeanors. The Connecticut misdemeanors. All
Coleman,
this is misdemeanors. We talking about, my holes are misdemeanors for traffic. I don't have no violent background. We was breaking up, so a lot of stuff, come on. What a coincidence.
Mr. Coleman, I'm gonna advise you again to exercise your
Hey.
right to remain silent.
Y'all trying to see something.
Bond modifications denied.
I don't like you trying.
Please mute the screen, jail court, or Miss Grace. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Miss Abden,
Miss Caldwell, you may leave the Zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Abden, I have position number 2 that you need to do the breakout session with Mr.
Yeah, I just need to.